How's everybody doing? It is Paul from Magpie 24/7 with the view from the van. But for those of you who's paying a little bit more attention, you'll notice it's different surroundings today. I'm not out and about in the van, just jumped in the car. It is New Year's Eve, so why not have a day off? Be daring, and today is that day off. To be fair, I'm in a very, very good mood. Normally, when Newcastle play the day before, and certainly recently, it puts you in a mood. The missus will say, "Oh, you know," she'll look at the fixtures. "All right, you're going to be, you'll be awful tomorrow. You'll be awful tomorrow." She must have been half expecting it when I said, "Oh, it's only Liverpool. It's only Liverpool today at home. We've only got, ASM out, Jamal Lascelles out, and so on and so forth." But she, as myself, were more than pleasantly surprised as Newcastle hung in there and claimed. And it's not very often, even when we've won this season, that you can say this, but we deservedly got a point yesterday. We deserved what we got. There's no doubt about that. And it's so frustrating that we can be absolutely embarrassed by newly promoted clubs, by a championship club. We can miss out on a semi-final of a League Cup, but then on the other hand, we can play the reigning champions and one of the best teams that there is in European football at the moment, and we hold out for a draw. And to be fair, when Kieran Clark connected with that header, there was a huge part of me that thought I'd half celebrated. I was literally sort of just sure, adamant that Newcastle had notched and we were going to nick one, and Bruce's luck was going to hold in. And yeah, we did get lucky, but how much of that was luck? How much of that was down to Carl Darlow, who, if Gareth Southgate wasn't so absolutely biased against anything that's got a black and white stripe on it, would see that on form he has to be, and statistically it's proven he is the best English goalkeeper in the Premier League who's faced over 200 shots. He saved something like 72% of all shots at him, which has been a lot this season. He has to be under consideration for future England squads if he can keep his place in the team, and that is a big if, because Martin Dubravka was back on the bench last night, which is a welcome return. It's a major selection headache for Steve Bruce, but it's got to be one that he's going to want to welcome. But yeah, Darlow was fantastic last night. But to be fair for Newcastle, there wasn't a bad play. You can complain maybe slightly about Matt Ritchie wasn't on the same level as all the other players, but he's a player playing out of position, and I thought he had a couple of good crosses. But everywhere you looked, all across the team, every single one of them lads put a bloody shift in. Fabian Schär looked fantastic in the middle of the defence, and it was the Fabian Schär of old. And yeah, I was a bit surprised at first to put him in the middle, but it worked really, really well. Fernandes going up against some of the Liverpool players, it was like, are you really going to try and start on me? Like, are you really going to start? I thought Fernandes was great. Clark, like I say, as soon as I had a connect, I was like, right. You're in the moment. You start half celebrating. You're like, oh my word, fantastic save. All the defensive unit was brilliant. Wing backs did the job, well. Yedlin, coming from the cold, had a few jittery moments when he's first come in, but yesterday he was a la, the Championship. I felt he was really, really good. We know his crossing isn't the best, but to keep their front three, regardless who they've got missing defensively, their front three were kept almightily quiet, and that is no easy task. So I can't knock any of the lads in defence. In goal, I thought we were brilliant. Matty Longstaff, I have banged this drum for ages. Before I came to Magpie 24/7, since I've been on Magpie 24/7, I have said this lad needs to play more often and play in his correct position. And it's like, you know, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. You know, he's energetic, he gets himself about, he's mobile in a way that John Joe Shelby could only dream of and hope and desire. Puts himself about there, he's got a forward pass in him, and I think he complements Isaac Hayden fantastically well, who will miss, no doubt, in the next game because of the suspension that he's picked up. But yeah, I thought the two in the middle worked so well. I think if they're going to be our first two, that then allows Sean to play further up the field, because I do not think, and I'll say it again, just like our champion Matty Longstaff for a central midfield, you know, one of them two pegs, I still think Sean's got a lot to offer, but he's an attacking midfielder and he needs to play in those positions if you get the best out of Sean Longstaff. But yeah, the two in the midfield pegs were absolutely fantastic. I thought out wide we did really well. Everybody again putting the shift in, putting the grind in. Joe Linton again worked tirelessly hard. It looks so much better when he's got extra support up there. Callum Wilson again, he had the chances. Some good, you know, it was a good energetic performance by Callum Wilson, and it could have, and maybe should have, ended in a goal. Unlucky for him, but we look different gravy when that lad is up there, and you know, a bargain and a half. But yeah, across the park, you really couldn't pick anyone who didn't put a shift in. And the lads who came on for substitutes, again, they did what was asked of them. There seemed to be a plan last night. Bruce seemed to have listened to some of the criticism, and he wasn't playing everybody just so bloody deep. And maybe that'll prove now to Steve Bruce that you don't have to sit back against these so-called bigger sides. These players, these lads, and I've said numerous times, they're a talented bunch of lads. We've got some good players at Newcastle, but you don't have to sit so deep. Push 10-15 yards further forward, ask some questions of them, so that our defence isn't having to literally absorb everything for 90 minutes because you are asking for trouble. And you know, we didn't have fantastic possession last night, but what we had of the ball we used more effectively, and because we were pushed further up, especially so in the first half, we were actually able to do things for it, you know. Yeah, when we got the ball, it was just amazing because we were in their half. We were able to make things happen. We were able to commit bodies forward, and no matter who it was, you know, create a chance, get a cross in, try and win a free kick, try and get a corner. And again, we weren't fantastic again with set pieces. That might be my only gripe about yesterday, is the fact that we seem incapable. We don't have a specialist at set pieces, and it really shows. And it's a little bit embarrassing when you see it time and time again. Nothing there from set pieces at all. You know, I thought when Miggy came, because obviously he took quite a few when he was playing in the US, I thought he might be the answer to that problem, but he's just not trusted, not given the responsibility or whatever, and we just don't look very good at all from set pieces. But minor critiques, yes, percentage possessions were down, but like I've said, we were in better positions. We were further up the pitch. We asked questions of the Liverpool defence. We could have scored. On another day, we probably would have scored. But I do think in the end, nils apiece, a draw was the right result. It takes us up to 19 points. Breaks a little bit of a bad run that we've been on recently. And takes a little bit of pressure off Steve Bruce on what is his 60th birthday today. So happy birthday, Steve Bruce. I mean, he's still not my choice. He's not your choice. He is the choice of Lee Chantley, who looked very tanned and orange, it must be said, when I saw him on the screens last night. You know when you've been tangoed. And yeah, he's had a bit too much of the old sunbed, I think. But yeah, by and large, I'm pleased. I mean, I'm more delighted over this point than I have on when Newcastle have won other games. And that's purely down to attitude. That's purely down to having a go. that's down to being braver. And like I say, it might just wake Brucey up to the fact that we don't have to pull our pants down every time we play a top 6 side. That we have got the capability in our squad and in our team to be able to go for it, be brave, and get points. You know, now the challenge for the lads is to maintain the form. Do not let those standards drop. Do not drop deeper back on the football pitch, because we've got Leicester next. Leicester are a difficult game. We are going to be missing Isaac Hayden. So how do we cover that? I hope John Joe Shelby doesn't get a look in, because I really think, I mean, I know Bruce likes him, but I wouldn't have him in. I'd rather have Hendrick, and that is saying something, because I just don't want John Joe Shelby anywhere near that, and I don't think Sean Longstaff is suitable for that extra midfield berth. I really don't. I think he's an emergency player there. He's the last 10 minutes, if the legs are tiring, you've got nobody else on the bench, yes, drop him back for 10 minutes, but don't bloody start him against Leicester in that deep midfield position, because it's just something he can't do. So why use the definition of insanity and keep repeating the same failed and tired ways? You wouldn't, you shouldn't, please don't. But yeah, 19 points it takes us up to, moves us a little bit further away from the relegation trouble. We've got to try and attack Leicester. If we get about them like we did against Liverpool, there's a chance, and that's all you can ask for, you know. And that's all we do. All this, Newcastle fans want Champions League, they want the entertainers, this, that and the other. Give us a little bit of hope, give me a few shots at target, play a bit further forward, ask some questions, show like you've got a plan, show that there's a bit of joined up thinking, and you can get behind it. Just like we got behind Rafa when it wasn't the world's best football. It's just more about just trying something and not just accepting defeat, not just pulling your trousers down and saying, how would you like me? So have a go at Leicester, see what we can get. If we can get another point, fantastic. It's another point to the tally and another step towards Premier League safety, which the club has already said that is the target for the rest of the season. So until we have that change of ownership, and let's hope that 2021 is that bloody year that we do get the change in ownership that we deserve for our loyalty through what we've been put through. Let's hope we get that next year. Because then after that, and obviously we've got Arsenal and stuff in the Cup, which is going to be a tall order. They're playing themselves back into form. But we've got a Sheffield United game coming up. And again, we cannot allow what happened in that Derby season, when Derby went down with record low points and then happened to get points off us. Can't allow that to happen. We need those points badly. And the sooner we can edge our way up out of the teens, into the 20s, and then heading towards the 30s, the better, because make no doubt about it, we are a more saleable asset with us in the Premier League than we are out of it. I don't want to go down the lines of getting relegated to attract a takeover, because Ashley ain't going to get his money, and Ashley ain't going to sell us unless he does get his money. Let's be totally frank and clear about that. So yeah, summarising, yesterday, well pleased, we got what we deserved, we earned and we worked hard for a point, and that is what that is what we got. The team to a man, I thought, was absolutely fantastic. Now it's just a case of more T Vicar. We need a little bit more of the good stuff. So let's hope that Bruce does take it into the upcoming games. Transfers, people have said, what do you think about transfers? Personally, I can't imagine us signing any fucker unless it's on the world's most cheapest deal, which worries me about Bentelev, because he's available on next to nothing. I've said all along, I would love us to be able to go and get Jethro Williams. I've said it all along. I think a quality left wing back, left back, whichever way you want to play it, would be good for us. I also do think we need more legs, more pace from the central midfield areas. I don't think you can afford to rely on just what we've got already, but that's probably going to mean a few players being shipped out. Is that possible? I don't know. It all comes down to finances and penny pinching, and we know that we've got the tightest cunt since a duck's arse in charge of the football club. So we will see, we will wait. Newcastle will be linked with loan players. That's probably more of a realistic option. The lad Brandon Williams has been linked again. I say, does it do out for me? No. If I want a fullback, I want Jeffro Williams. It's as simple as that. Despite playing fantastically well yesterday, Yedlin has been offered terms of Trabzonspor. So will he go there? Will that be enough of an exciting project to sink his teeth into? I don't know. Maybe he's wanting a team in the US or maybe one of the better leagues around Europe to be able to come in for him. So eyes tuned on that one. But certainly how he played against Liverpool, you'd want him to be in, wouldn't you? That is the frustrating thing. But we do have Thankyou and Kraft there or thereabouts with regards to fitness. So there is ready-made replacements there. A few people murmuring that Dubravka may be sold to generate some funds. Some people say 15 million. My answer is, does that buy you one glove? Because again, you know how much I rate Dubravka. I think he's absolutely top dollar, top draw, and it's going to be huge, the decision of what to do with the goalkeepers, because you've also, remember, Woodman coming back in the summer, and he's not going to want to sit round as third or fourth choice. Gillespie's looked decent enough when he's came in. So there's too many goalkeepers. I do think somebody's going to have to go, but we'll wait and see on that one. So yeah, quite calm, quite happy, quite okay with how the match went yesterday, and fingers crossed for better times for Newcastle United in the new year, hopefully under new ownership. Like I said, it's Steve Bruce's birthday today. It's not changed my opinion, and one thing I've learned with this man, you can have one or two decent results, then he'll go on and run of absolute shabba shit. He's never ever been my choice, and I've consistently said throughout, even on good runs, no, not my cup of tea. Thank you very much. Nice bloke as he may be, my milkman is also a nice bloke, but I wouldn't want him in charge of Newcastle United as well. So that is all I'm going to say about that. It's still Bruce out, but feeling a lot happier and a lot more smugger as I bump into plenty of Liverpool supporters today out and about across the old streets and everything. Anyway, there is one more podcast that's coming out today, the Anyone for Bacon podcast, that's coming out with myself and Kyle around about this same time. In the meantime, keep it tuned, take care, and I'll speak to you later.